There is a strange truth about life. The person who hurts you the most, the person who delays your success the most, the person who destroys your dreams the most, there is a strange truth about life that most people never pause to notice. The person who delays your growth, weakens your confidence, and quietly steals your dreams is not standing outside you. It is living within you. It is that version of you that loves comfort more than character, excuses more than effort, and someday, more than today. This weak version does not shout, it whispers. It says, rest a little more. You deserve a break. Start tomorrow. And slowly, tomorrow becomes a habit, and the habit becomes a destiny. Inside every human being, two forces are quietly at work. One wants ease, pleasure, and safety. The other wants purpose, growth, and meaning. One avoids discomfort. The other understands that discomfort is the school where strength is trained. The tragedy is not that we feel weak sometimes. The tragedy is when we begin to obey that weakness. Because every time you obey it, you feed it. And every time you resist it, you starve it. Life does not change because of big speeches or emotional promises made at midnight. Life changes when you win small battles at ordinary hours. When you wake up even when your mind begs for sleep. When you remain disciplined even when no one is watching. When you stay honest even when shortcuts look attractive. These moments do not look heroic, but they quietly shape your character. And character, not luck, decides the height of your life. Many people wait for motivation. But motivation is like weather, it changes. Discipline is like the sun, it rises whether you feel like it or not. The weak version of you waits for perfect conditions. The strong version creates progress even in imperfect ones. One searches for comfort, the other searches for self-respect. One asks, what is easy? The other asks, what is right? You do not need to become someone new. You only need to stop betraying the best of who you already are. Your future is not built by dramatic transformations, but by quiet consistency. By choosing responsibility over excuses. By choosing effort over entertainment. By choosing long-term peace over short-term pleasure. One day you will look back at this phase of your life. You will not remember the number of followers you had or how many people approved of you. You will remember whether you had the courage to stand up to your own weakness. Whether you had the honesty to admit when you were lazy. Whether you had the strength to do what was necessary, not just what was easy. Your life will eventually introduce you to your future self. That meeting will either fill you with pride or with regret. And the difference between those two emotions will be decided by the choices you make today in silence when no one is clapping for you. So do not fight the world. Do not waste your energy proving yourself to others. Fight the part of you that wants to remain small. Feed your discipline. Strengthen your patience. Respect your potential. And slowly, very slowly, you will notice that the weak voice inside you is fading and a calmer, stronger voice is rising. That voice will not promise comfort. It will promise meaning. And meaning, unlike comfort, will stay with you for a lifetime. Most people think their biggest battles are outside them. With people, with circumstances, with money, with time. But the most important battle of life is always internal. It is the silent conversation you have with yourself when nobody is listening. It is the moment when your alarm rings and your mind says, just 5 more minutes, and your conscience says, get up. Your life is waiting. It is in these ordinary moments that extraordinary futures are decided. The weak version of you does not look dangerous. It looks polite. It sounds reasonable. It says, you worked hard, you deserve rest. It says, one day off will not change anything. It says, others are also doing the same. And slowly, without any drama, it builds a prison made of comfort. The bars of this prison are soft, so you don't feel the pain immediately. But one day you realize you are free to dream, yet too weak to act. Strength is not about muscles. It is about direction. A river is powerful not because of its speed, but because it knows where it is going. A disciplined life is the same. When your actions follow your values, your life gains force. When your actions follow your moods, your life loses shape. The weak version of you follows moods. The stronger version follows purpose. Growth is uncomfortable. It asks you to sit with boredom instead of escaping into distraction. It asks you to face your fears instead of hiding behind excuses. It asks you to be patient when results are slow and silent. The weak version runs away from this discomfort. The stronger version bows to it, knowing that pain today is often protection for tomorrow. Many people say they want a better life, but very few are willing to become a better person. They want new results with old habits. They want success with the same laziness. They want peace with the same anger. Life does not work like that. Life changes when you change what you tolerate in yourself. When you stop saying, "This is just how I am," and start saying, "This is not how I want to remain." Do not underestimate small decisions. The choice to read instead of scroll. The choice to listen instead of react. The choice to work when it is boring. The choice to remain humble when praise comes. These choices look small, but they are like drops of water. One drop changes nothing. 1,000 drops shape stone. There will be days when you fail, days when the weak version wins. Do not hate yourself for that. Even the strongest trees bend in heavy storms. What matters is not that you fall, but that you refuse to build a home on the ground. Stand up gently, without drama, and walk again. One day, you will sit quietly and look at your life. You will not ask how comfortable it was. You will ask how meaningful it was. And in that moment, you will understand that the greatest act of self-love was not pleasing yourself, but disciplining yourself. Feed your courage more than your fear. Feed your effort more than your excuses. Feed your patience more than your anger. Slowly, the weak version will grow hungry. Slowly, the stronger version will grow steady. And one day, without noise, without announcement, you will realize that you are no longer running away from your potential. You are walking calmly towards it. Life often feels like a race, but in reality it is more like a quiet classroom. Every day gives you a lesson, and every situation tests how well you have learned it. Some people attend the class physically, but remain absent mentally. They repeat the same mistakes, complain about the same problems, and wonder why nothing changes. What they do not realize is that the greatest change is never demanded from the world, it is requested from within. There is a version of you that wants growth, clarity, and peace. And there is another version that wants comfort, distraction, and approval. Both live in the same heart, both speak in your voice. The difference is subtle. One speaks with courage, the other with convenience. And most of the time, we confuse convenience for wisdom. The weak version is very clever. It does not say, destroy your life. It says, relax today. It does not say, give up your dreams. It says, postpone them. It does not say, be irresponsible. It says, you deserve this. These sentences sound kind, but they quietly steal your future. Like slow leaks in a boat, they do not create panic, but they eventually sink the journey. Strength does not arrive in dramatic moments. It arrives when you choose silence over argument, effort over excuse, responsibility over blame. It arrives when you decide to control your habits instead of letting your habits control you. It arrives when you learn to sit with your discomfort instead of running toward easy pleasure. These decisions do not bring applause, but they bring alignment, and alignment brings peace. Many people are tired not because they do too much, but because they do too little of what truly matters. They spend energy pleasing others, comparing themselves, and proving their worth. By the end of the day, they are exhausted but empty. True energy comes when your actions match your values. When you stop trying to look strong and start becoming strong. There will be days when discipline feels heavy and progress feels invisible. On those days, remember that roots grow in darkness. No one claps for roots, but everyone enjoys the fruits. Your effort today is building a foundation that tomorrow will proudly stand on. Do not wait for a perfect time to improve yourself. Time does not become perfect. It becomes meaningful when you use it well. Even 5 minutes of sincere effort is better than hours of regret. Even one honest step forward is better than 1,000 beautiful excuses. Your future is listening to your daily routine. Your character is listening to your private choices. The world will judge you by your results, but life will reward you for your sincerity. One day, you will understand that the most courageous thing you ever did was not fighting others, but confronting yourself. Not blaming circumstances, but accepting responsibility. Not seeking comfort, but choosing growth. Let the weak voice speak, but do not hand it the microphone of your life. Listen to it, learn from it, but do not obey it. Obey the quieter voice that asks you to be better, not bitter. To be disciplined, not dramatic. To be patient, not passive. When you feed that voice with action, something beautiful happens. Fear loses its authority. Laziness loses its charm. Excuses lose their power. And without making any announcement to the world, you become someone stronger, calmer, and more centered than you ever thought possible. That is how real change happens. Not loudly, not suddenly, but gently, consistently from the inside out. Many people spend their lives trying to change their surroundings, their jobs, their relationships, their cities, even their countries. Very few pause and ask a simple but powerful question. What if the problem is not around me, but within me? Not in a negative way. Not to blame yourself, but to take responsibility. Because responsibility is not a burden, it is freedom. The moment you accept that your life is shaped by your choices, you stop being a victim and start becoming a creator. Inside you live two voices. One speaks softly but wisely. The other speaks sweetly but lazily. The lazy voice promises comfort, shortcuts and quick happiness. The wise voice promises effort, patience and long-term peace. Both voices use the same language. Both sound like you. That is why many people get confused and call laziness, self-care and fear practical thinking. The weak version of you does not want to harm you. It simply wants to protect you from discomfort. But comfort is a dangerous teacher. It trains you to avoid challenges instead of overcoming them. It trains you to settle instead of rise. Slowly, it lowers your standards, and one day you wake up wondering why your dreams feel so distant and your confidence feels so small. Strength is not built in motivational moments. It is built in routine moments. When you choose to wake up with purpose, when you finish what you start, when you listen more than you speak, when you say no to distractions that steal your focus. These moments do not look important, but they are quietly rewriting your identity. Do not wait until life forces you to change. Choose change while you still have the choice. Pain will come either way. The pain of discipline hurts early but heals later. The pain of regret feels light at first but becomes heavy with time. Wisdom is choosing which pain you are willing to carry. Many people ask, how do I become strong? Strength is not something you add to your life. It is something you uncover by removing what weakens you. Remove excuses. Remove comparison. Remove the habit of blaming. Remove the addiction to comfort. What remains is not a perfect person, but a real one. A person who falls, but stands again. A person who doubts, but still walks forward. There will be days when you fail your own expectations. Do not let one bad day become a bad identity. You are not your worst moment. You are the direction you choose after it. Even a slow step forward changes your position more than standing still with big dreams. Your future self is watching your present habits like a silent teacher. Every small act of discipline is a gift you are sending forward in time. Every avoided responsibility is a debt you are also sending forward. One day, you will sit quietly and understand that the greatest victory of your life was not applause, money, or recognition. It was the day you stopped lying to yourself, the day you stopped protecting your weakness, the day you chose growth over comfort. Do not announce your transformation. Do not argue about it. Do not try to prove it. Just live it. Let your calm discipline speak. Let your consistency become your signature. Let your life become the evidence that the weak version of you was never your destiny, only a phase you outgrew. And when that day comes, you will not feel proud in a loud way. You will feel peaceful. And that peace will be worth every difficult choice you made in silence. There comes a moment in life when you realize that your greatest struggle is not with the noise of the world, but with the silence inside you. In that silence live your fears, your doubts, your habits, and your hidden strength. Every day, without announcing itself, life asks you a simple question. Who will you listen to today? The part of you that wants to grow, or the part of you that wants to hide? The weak version of you does not come with darkness. It comes dressed as comfort. It tells you to delay difficult conversations, to postpone important work, to choose what is easy over what is meaningful. It tells you that you are tired, that you deserve pleasure, that one small compromise will not matter. But small compromises repeated daily become a lifestyle, and lifestyles slowly become identities. Strength is not loud, it does not argue, it does not complain, it simply shows up. It shows up when the mind is tired. It shows up when progress is slow. It shows up when nobody is watching. This is why true strength often goes unnoticed by the world, but it is deeply respected by life. You may not see immediate results when you choose discipline. Some days you will feel as if nothing is changing. But change is happening in places you cannot see. In your thinking, in your reactions, in your priorities. A tree does not announce when its roots grow deeper, but when the storm comes, everyone understands their value. Many people wait for confidence to begin. But confidence is born from keeping promises to yourself. Every time you do what you said you would do, even when it is difficult, you build quiet trust with your own heart. And when you trust yourself, fear loses its grip. Do not measure your life by speed. Measure it by direction. A slow step toward purpose is better than a fast run toward distraction. You do not need to be perfect. You need to be honest. Honest about your weaknesses and serious about not letting them control your future. There will be days when your old habits call you back. Do not fight them with anger. Fight them with awareness. Observe how they speak to you, how they try to negotiate, how they promise comfort and deliver emptiness. Then gently return to what you know is right. Your destiny is not written by dramatic events. It is written by repeated choices. What you read, what you watch, what you tolerate, what you avoid, what you practice. These small things quietly build the walls of your tomorrow. One day when you sit alone and reflect on your journey, you will realize that the most important war you ever fought was invisible to others. No medals were given, no headlines were written, but inside you, something precious was protected. You protected your values from your laziness. You protected your dreams from your fear. You protected your future from your excuses. And in doing so, you did not become perfect. You became peaceful. You became steady. You became real. Let the weak version of you exist, but do not let it lead. Let it speak, but do not let it decide. Give leadership to the part of you that seeks growth, not comfort, truth, not convenience, meaning, not momentary pleasure. That is how a quiet person becomes a powerful one, not by defeating the world, but by mastering the self. And remember this, one day, years from now, you will meet yourself again, not in the mirror, but in your results. And that future version will either say, "Thank you for not giving up," or, "Why did you choose comfort over courage? Choose wisely." Because today, you are not just living a day. You are deciding a lifetime. Kill the weak version. Feed the strong one. And become someone your future will bow to in gratitude.